Hello and welcome to Brittania Skies. I'm your instructor and this is Circuit Training Part 2. You may have noticed that the first circuit was with two continuous turns, one to downwind and one to final. Now to make it easier for yourself, you can do a circuit with 4 legs. That means an upwind leg, a crosswind leg, a downwind leg, a base leg and final. So we're going to go ahead and take off. As you see, we set the heading book to the runway heading, and we're using that heading book to have a look at where we are in the circuit. I'll show you later on. So at 60 knots, we'll rotate to about 8 degrees. And once we're at 8 degrees, the speed will increase a little bit so we can decrease the flaps to up. Once the flaps are up, the speed should settle around 80 knots. Now this leg is called the upwind leg, and we're going to turn to a crosswind leg once we cross 500 feet. Here's the 500 feet, so we're making a 20-degree turn to crosswind, and you can use the heading bug to make sure that you're at the right position. So once the heading bug is at a 90-degree angle, then you know that you're on your crosswind leg. We're climbing to 1,000 feet. Once we reach 1,000 feet, we push the nose down to make sure we're not climbing anymore, and the RPM should be about 2,100 RPM. Once we're level, we can make a turn for downwind. And again, you know when you're downwind, when the heading book is all the way at the bottom of your string. So we're nearly there. I just need a little more left of a left turn there. There you go, nearly there. That's it. Leveling off, making sure we're not climbing or descending, and the speed should settle around 90 knots. Now let's see where the runway is and see if we got enough space. Yeah, that looks alright. So the purpose of this circuit is that you don't have to do too many things at the same time. You see that we only had to turn, and then once we stopped turning, we can level off and make another turn. So that makes it easier. Now this next leg is going to be a little bit more difficult because we're going to make a turn, reduce the speed and increase the flaps. So once we're in the turn, and that is when we pass the runway, we're nearly there. So once we pass this threshold, then we can make a turn. We're going to cut the power and increase the flaps, and once the speed is nearing 70 knots, I'm going to descend to maintain 70 knots. Meanwhile, I'm turning towards the base leg. Now you see the heading book is almost at a 90-degree angle. There you go. Now we're on base leg. Now the spacing with the runway is a bit tricky. So you see the style there that holds the wing. Once the runway is just behind that, we can turn. So that's it now. So we're turning left towards final. And once the runway is back in view, we can see how high we are in relation to the runway. Now have a look at that aiming point, those 2 white markers on the runway, and next to it are those 4 lights, which are the poppies. Okay, so we're on final now. Now we just need to adjust our descent rate to make sure that we are on profile. You see the 4 white lights there on the left? Now one of them should turn red, and that is a sign that you're coming on profile. Once you do that, landing flaps, a little bit more power to maintain 60 knots. And when you have 2 red lights and 2 white lights, you're perfectly on profile. Now keep that picture. Now once you're getting close to your aiming point, then you look up to the end, the other end of the runway, cut the power and slightly increase your pitch, not too much. And that should ensure a nice smooth landing. There you go. Now look at the end of the runway, cut the power, slight pitch up and land. Now and don't forget to use the rudders to maintain runway center line. More left, there you go. And let's hit the brakes. And that's another circuit, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck with the training and I'll see you next time.